introduce yourself and tell me what your role is at the University of Texas?
Yeah, so my name is Stephanie, and I am currently a student in the coordinated program of dietetics. I'm working through my rotations right now. So right now I am in the Kinsolving Dining hall, and so my role right now as a dietetic intern is kind of similar to a manager, so it's really flexible and kind of all over the place. I've been on the lines, I've been in a managerial position where I'm kind of letting people know what to do and where they need to be. Also kind of an administrative role where I am doing some more spreadsheets and that sort of thing and working with financials. And then also back in the kitchen working with food.
Can you tell me what goes into feeding a large amount of people? What's it like preparing that much food?
Yeah, so the main thing for feeding a lot of people is the budget that I have seen. So there's a massive budget that we have to work with. And so there's a lot of moving parts and there's a lot of people with that. So we have a huge staff, close to 50 people, maybe more or less, kind of depending on the day. But usually we have 50 people roughly here working behind the scenes and at the front. And so somebody is ordering the food and working through the inventory, and so that is their main job, is to know what we have on hand and know what we're going to need to prepare each day. And so we also have to work through the menus on the back end as well, and so we need to know what we're going to prepare ahead of time. And so depending on where you are, depends on how far in advance that you prepare or know what you're going to prepare. And so here we actually plan that a whole semester in advance. And so we know, or we're planning right now, what we're going to make next semester. So currently it's quite a long process, and so that's why it takes so many people to run it. And so we have a lot of large equipment that's also quite expensive, and so that's why it takes such a huge budget to run this huge facility. And as well as like the smaller things that you don't necessarily normally think of, so like the silverware, the utensil or the paperware, gloves. Now masks are a new thing that we have to purchase, as well as like sanitizing equipment. And so that's another thing that also just kind of cuts into the budget. And so we need to make sure that we have enough for that, as well as money coming in, because obviously it costs money to eat. So yeah, that's the main thing that I would say that I work with through here, and just huge amounts of food. So normally whenever you're cooking at home, I would say you're gonna make yourself a grilled cheese. So you get a slice of bread, put cheese on it, and put another slice of bread and cook it. But instead here we will grab 4 pans that are about yay large, fill it with 6 by 4 pieces of bread, fill those all with cheese, and then cook the whole thing. So you have a significant amount more. So the method doesn't necessarily change as much, but it's just a lot. So it's not quite as hard as you would think, cooking for that many people, but it's work, and it takes a lot of moving parts to actually get the job done.